The US, UK, and France even issuing this rare joint statements. And it reads in part, quote, the defense ministers of each of our countries spoke to Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu at his request. Our countries made clear that we all reject Russia's transparently false allegations that Ukraine is preparing to use a dirty bomb on its own territory. The world would see through any attempt to use this allegation as a pretext for escalation. Putin laying the groundwork for a false flag attack that allows for nuclear escalation because his conventional forces are losing. And tonight, we found more new video of Russian soldiers talking about their dire reality.
Just take a look at our uniforms. Each of these we bought ourselves. All our gear we purchased ourselves. Our masks, our combat boots, our gloves. One guy bought a flak jacket for 60,000 rubles. By the same evening, the price had already gone up to 80,000 rubles. Now that same flak jacket costs 100 to 150,000 rubles. We know how this works, but every time we go to another store, the price keeps going up, 2 times what it was before. I'll just add a comment about the weapons, which were all rusty and jammed. Such weapons are not fit for battle. We hadn't been fed for 2 days. There wasn't even any water.
Again, they all want to be seen. They want you to know they all agree, but they cover their face so you can't fully identify who they are when it comes to Russian leadership. And Putin is seeming to threaten to escalate this war in other ways as well. Tonight, I want you to know about 2 more Russians who were arrested for photographing military facilities in Norway, which is a NATO country. This is according to Norwegian TV2. In recent weeks, several Russian nationals with drones have been arrested and detained in Norway, including the son of this Putin ally who was arrested for flying a drone in a sensitive area. And Norway carries immense strategic value in this war. Norway is now Europe's top gas supplier after Russia cut supplies. Fred Pleiken is live in Dnipro, Ukraine tonight. And Fred, what is the latest on the ground where you are tonight?
Hi there, Aaron. Well, we were near the southern front here in this war that's going on, and certainly what the Ukrainians are saying there, that the battle for Kherson, they say that they continue to make a lot of headway there. Now, the big question here right now is what is the Russian military going to do next in that area? Are they going to withdraw? Are they gearing up to try and make some sort of stand there? Or is there indeed the potential for a dramatic new escalation? Here's what we're learning. As Ukrainian forces continue to make gains in the south of the country, Moscow accelerating the evacuation of people from the area around Kherson. Ferries bringing tens of thousands across the Dnipro River. The Russians say to safety, Ukraine says these are essentially deportations.
My mother needs medical treatment. She is ill. And of course, we're afraid for our lives.
We live not far from the Antonovsky Bridge.
I think everything will be fine. Kherson will hold out.
Local officials believe this could be the beginning of a full Russian retreat from this area.
The occupiers and collaborators are leaving the west part of the region in quite a dramatic way. This happens along with the total looting of Kherson city and the region west of the river.
But Ukraine's military intelligence say they believe Russia is actually building up its forces here for a massive stand rather than readying for a withdrawal. But as Vladimir Putin's troops lose ground, officials in Moscow are making troubling accusations. In a call with Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin, Russia's Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu alleging, without any evidence, that Ukraine is planning to detonate a nuclear-laced improvised device, a so-called dirty bomb. A Russian general adding to the claims.
The provocation is aimed at accusing Russia of using weapons of mass destruction at the Ukrainian theater of operations that would launch a powerful anti-Russian campaign in order to undermine the confidence in Moscow.
Kiev sharply rejects the allegations, even asking the International Atomic Energy Agency to inspect its civilian nuclear sites. The IAEA already has staff in the Zaporizhzhia nuclear plant trying to prevent an atomic disaster there. Ukraine's president hurling the allegations back at Moscow.
Never again will Russia be able to dictate anything to anyone. It no longer has the potential to dictate. The world sees that. Russian potential is being wasted now on this madness, on a war against our state and the entire free world.
The Russians continued to hit Ukraine with long-distance missiles and drones this weekend in Mykolaiv and elsewhere. The Russians are continuing their air campaign against the public infrastructure of this country, hitting civilian areas like right here, killing and wounding scores of people. But the air campaign is also taking a massive toll on the energy infrastructure of this country, leaving hundreds of thousands without power. The Ukrainians say Russia's airstrikes won't stop their advance. Kyiv's army looking to retake as much of their territory as possible before winter sets in. And certainly, Aaron, from our vantage point here in the south of the country, it looks as though Vladimir Putin's army is in a lot of trouble, in a precarious situation around that town of Kherson, where their logistics are extremely difficult now after the Ukrainians hit some key bridges there. And when you speak to people in a lot of these towns down here in the south of Ukraine, a lot of them do believe that the Ukrainian military will prevail there, but there is also a lot of concern of what Vladimir Putin might do if his forces continue to lose on the battlefield, Aaron.